I don't think that a lot of people thought that the temporary restraining order would be granted in this case.
Well, frankly, I was not shocked by the decision, because I believe that we showed all of the four requirements. We met all of those requirements in order to obtain a temporary restraining order, as found by Judge Vowell.
So what does this mean? This means that he's still superintendent.
This means that as soon as we post a $10,000 bond, which we intend to do today, he is back in his position as superintendent.
And what is the bond all about? Why is that necessary?
Well, under the Alabama Rules of Civil Procedure, Rule 65, in order for a judge to issue a temporary restraining order, he must require a bond, so that if it turns out that the order was issued in error, the opposing party will have some form of redress in terms of monetary compensation for costs expended.
What's the next step? You have a hearing before Judge Brown?
We will contact Judge Brown's office, and he'll set a hearing on a motion for a preliminary injunction. And that must be done within 10 days, because a temporary restraining order is good for only a 10-day period, unless extended for good cause by the judge who issued it.
So this meeting here before the judge was just to determine whether Witherspoon would go back in place or not?
Yes, this was a hearing to determine whether the superintendent had, number one, suffered irreparable harm, number two, suffered damages that outweigh any damages that the school board president and the nominal superintendent would suffer. Number three, that there was a substantial likelihood of his prevailing on the merits. And number four, that the public interest would be served by the granting of this preliminary injunctive relief. And the judge was satisfied based on the verified complaint and the facts that are set forth in that complaint and sworn to by Superintendent Witherspoon, that we met all of the requirements for the issuance of a temporary restraining order. And so on the posting of the $10,000 bond, that order will issue.
And you feel confident when you go before Judge Brown that you'll win on the state authority?
Well, I don't want to comment on the merits of the case, but I believe that the evidence will speak for itself.
Sure.
And I am not at all discouraged by the superintendent's position.
Did you already inform him of this decision, Witherspoon?
You wouldn't let me. I'm going to give him a call fairly immediately.
And how does he feel about going back there when clearly there's a lot of discord in that building?
Well, he of course is much troubled by the discord. He is heartened by the opportunity of trying to help kids better themselves. And so for that reason, he reported to his job before 7 o'clock this morning.
And so he is now back in as the city's superintendent? Not
until the temporary restraining order becomes effective, which won't be effective until you let me go and arrange to post a bond.
And after that is posted, which will be today.
You spoke some in there about local law versus state law and how that gives authority to the board versus authority to the superintendent. Is it going to be your argument that there's a general bill or a general law overrides any local authority
Well, that's the general principle. As the statute that I presented to the judge clearly states, the State Board of Education is in charge of the operation of all public schools in the state.
Perfect.